We're back with album review.
What's up?
Hey, Eric, what are you doing here?
I decided that this is going to be my first episode because Metallica's fire.
Yeah, my boy.
It seems like Metallica is the one artist that attracts people to this series.
I also am
Unifier.
just off today, so it double worked out. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's good to have you on, because today we're looking at Metallica's... I think this is their 9th studio album,
Yeah.
Death Magnetic, from
Kill-
2008.
Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, Justice, Black Album, Load, Reload,
Saint Anger.
Saint Anger.
And then, this is number 9.
Yeah.
that's 9.
So,
I was about to count S&M,
that does not count.
No.
but I was like, wait, hang on.
So,
Case Candy Time.
I don't have much context for this album other than this is like after Saint Anger, which we've talked about before, a very panned album. Not a lot of people liked it. You liked it for some reason.
I like
Well, that's because I appreciated it.
Yeah,
I don't
Luca
know, 20
definitely
years
appreciates
after its
this.
release.
Yeah, it's been
This
20
is
years.
yeah, it's been 20 some odd years now.
Yeah.
But-
Like, that album is okay. If you fix the production, it's good.
Yeah.
It's a really
But
good album.
If you want our thoughts on that, go check out that episode.
Yep.
So this was like
Dude, this is cool.
after Saint Anger, they're like, okay, we need to go back to our roots. We need to go have a straight thrash album.
Yeah, this shit is pretty good, I will say.
So, Luke, you probably have more context than me, so you can take it away from here.
Initially, when this was in production, they were gonna call it Suicide and Redemption after the instrumental track.
Oh, that's
But that
cool.
was deemed a little too harsh by the record execs, and so
I
they
see.
were like, well, we'll just fucking make it sound cooler, and they came up with a lyric called Death Magnetic.
Yeah.
Which is used in the final track.
Yeah. So,
Because this album also touches on a lot of touchy subjects, too, like the death penalty and, like, suicide and all that.
yeah.
Which is not new for Metallica, but this and, like, their newer stuff, it really puts it on, like, the forefront.
This was released in 09, I believe.
08.
08?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is when they finally had their own label.
Oh,
Yeah,
They
this-
had enough power to create their own label and just do whatever they want.
This is when Blackened became a thing on their
Yeah.
record label.
The album overall has a lot of really weird, quirky shit that I find nitpicky. Like it's small stuff, but to me, this isn't the best Metallica album, but it
No.
fucks. It does
Yeah.
fuck.
Shall we get into the tracks?
Yes. Let's go.
What's the opening track?
That Was Just Your Life. Banger.
I like the first track.
I've seen live videos of it. It fucks, dude.
It fucks.
Sets
Maybe
the
I need to
tempo of
listen
the
to it
album
again
up
because that
pretty
was
good.
one of my
Yeah.
least favorite
Get right
ones.
into
You
Oh,
didn't
you
like
didn't
it?
like this one?
I mean, I did, but like it just didn't I didn't care for it as much as the others. I'd say.
gotcha.
I'd say it's probably on my lesser half of the
Yeah,
songs,
that's what
but
I mean. Like it's just the lesser half.
These songs do get longer.
That is-
Dude,
these
it's
are
ridiculous.
long
This is
songs.
something I complained about with Saint Anger, and it kind of applies here.
Like it's so good.
A
and then,
lot
like,
of the
it needs to
songs are
stop.
so long.
5-6 minute songs,
Yeah.
10-minute songs.
Like 4 minutes in, I'm like, oh,
The
it's not
average
done.
song
Like,
length on this was probably like 7.5 minutes.
I definitely at least 7.5 minutes or so.
Crazy.
The end of the line is
I like this one.
wildly cool.
yeah, I like it.
The riffs are awesome.
It flowed.
The
Yeah.
guitar solo was crazy.
Yes.
too, in the
Kirk
middle.
goes fucking
Yeah,
apeshit,
this is like
dude.
the last album where Kirk puts out really good solos. I feel
Yeah.
like.
This is one of them that I wrote on my notes that it could have ended sooner. Again.
A little bit.
But then
yeah.
like the singing interlude or like bridge thing at the end of it was cool.
That's
Yeah.
what brought it back,
Came
I think.
for
Like,
last, like,
Yeah. So I feel like the length for this one does work, just
Yeah.
because it has that strong of an ending.
right.
And when I was younger, I always confused the first 2 tracks. I always thought the end of the line was like That Was Just Your Life for some reason.
Right.
But this was probably one of the few albums I listened to the least by then until like recently.
Yeah. Broken Beat, Scarred.
This one's alright.
This
I
one's
said
cool.
the one note I wrote for the song. That was very Metallica of them.
It was very Metallica. And this one's okay to me.
I
Like,
said it
it's
felt
not-
longer than it needed
Yep.
to be.
This one I agree.
This is the track that I can consider to be very mid.
yeah.
This is not the best of the bunch.
Yes.
No, this one's just
The
okay.
vocals just, you know, he's kind of good on
Yeah,
it.
James sounds fine on most
James
of the
cleared
tracks.
up.
Yeah, it was fine. It was just not like something to talk about.
This
Like,
is the modern Hetfield voice,
Mm.
and it's kind of the transitional period from like the screamy, angry vocals that he tried doing to like
I
what he
probably
sings
need to
now.
protect my voice more. Since
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
very
for sure.
tight.
The
he
Getting
doesn't want to
Older-
turn into Axl Rose
No.
or Vince Neil.
Or Billy Corgan. Like,
Aw.
you don't want to do anything.
Wee. Anyway,
Yeah.
The Day That Never Comes. This was a
I like
big
that one.
single.
This
Yes.
was the big hit off the album.
I didn't even know that.
Yep,
but
I
like
wrote that it gives me divorced dad rock vibes.
It is.
Like,
This is that time. This is
yeah,
08.
that's what I wrote.
Like the
And then
guitar
the
riffs
drums I liked a
throughout.
lot. Guitar too. Like it
The
was
bridge
fucking-
going into the solo.
I like it.
Yeah, bro.
That is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely
they do
one of the
really
better
good with that
tracks.
shit. Like,
Yeah, the harmonies are great. They just jive so well. That whole song was perfect. That definitely needed to be a single.
And at moments on that song, his voice was giving me like an Incubus sound almost. Like it was very different from what he normally sounds like. I feel like.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, going from a
Mhm.
more like yelling, like dark tone to like, I don't know. It
Right.
seemed like more just voice than
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I thought it was good.
All Nightmare Long. Not to cut you off at the end.
No, you're good.
This is the second
Oh, dude.
single.
This is fucking awesome.
I like this one.
I wrote that it is a good gym song.
All Nightmare Long is the perfect thrash metal song on
Yeah,
this album.
It gave me
this
Metallica
is
vibes.
It's definitely the most like true to their roots.
Right,
song.
that's what I mean. Like that's what I felt. Like I felt like
This is them.
Yep.
Cyanide,
Agreed.
funny.
I like
kind of song.
Cyanide.
All right, Cyanide. I wrote a lot. My immediate reaction was I didn't care for it, but then like
I
it
kinda
gave me a
felt the
different
same way.
vibe, and towards the middle, and it was a good song. And I said I usually dislike long ass songs because this was a long ass song, but
Yeah.
like it kept me going the whole fucking time. It was
Mhm.
fucking good, bro.
On
Like
your seat.
the whole time, like it was fire. Like
I do like Cyanide.
yep,
I like it more after like my second or third listen.
yeah, like
Like my first listen, I was like, this one's okay. But
Yeah,
I
it's a
definitely
nice
appreciate
one.
this one more.
that's my favorite song off this
Yeah,
one
dude.
album.
The Unforgiven 3, the other big single.
I can't believe there's 3 of these now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I don't know what their intentions were with this. I don't know if it was
Yeah.
supposed to be a rewrite of another song that they had. Because they had material from Load and Reload that they never touched.
Right.
I believe it because those albums are already so fucking long. Too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
like-
like they've had songs that never have been looked at. This one, I can kind of see it being...
They kind
a
of just threw
spirit-
it in there, like
I feel it's a spiritual successor. Like they tried to encompass what was great about the other
give
songs.
us one of those.
Like, yeah, because the Unforgiven 1 and 2 are very similar. They're different, but they have similar vibes. This
Yeah.
one's very different.
This is like how movies try to make everything wild in the third film. and
Right.
it drops. Like it
Mhm.
drops the ball a little bit.
It's like
Yeah.
this is
Yeah,
this is like
you're
the
right.
Godfather 3 of
Yes.
them.
Oh.
Yeah.
no,
Like it's not
God.
all, but it's not awful like that movie
No.
is. Like it's just different and not as good as the first two.
This is also the first notable time Hetfield plays the piano
Yeah,
live
in
and
Unforgiven. Oh yeah.
yeah, he plays the piano.
this is a
in
rare
the song.
instance of Metallica piano.
No, it's James. Like he literally is behind the.
Yeah,
keys.
no, that's
That
what
shit's
I mean
fucking
though. Like
wild.
you don't see piano in a lot of their songs though.
No.
I respect piano.
Oh yeah,
Dude, it's when you do it right, it's just fucking fire.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
It's a very versatile.
Yes. You can
That's how a
literally do
lot of
anything,
that's how a
like-
lot of guitar players learn how to
Yeah.
like
Right.
tune and like
It's the
play in
same-
key. is
I didn't
with
know
the
that.
piano.
Ideas.
Yeah.
of both those instruments.
You hit
yeah.
the key, it rings out a specific note, and they can hear it and be like, "Oh, so that's a G note,"
Ah, okay.
and just play it from there. That's how I picked it up a little bit.
I
So
mean
you just-
we mentioned
yeah.
before like a piano's just kind of like a guitar, just played with keys instead of like
Yeah.
you know strings.
It does look like a guitar.
They're
They got
both
hard.
string instruments. So, but the next track is my personal favorite
The
one.
Judas Kiss.
I
This is a
love the
good
Judas
one.
Kiss.
Good vibes. Very Metallica of them.
Very
Again.
Very Metallica.
Again, very
part four.
Metallica. Very good though. I think this is just like packs a punch, and it's
Yeah. In the end, the fucking guitar and bass that was going fucking hard. That's one
Yeah.
thing that I noticed.
This is
Rob and Lars.
this is also
can
Rob's
fucking
first
do it.
like true full album with the band.
That's
Like
cool.
yeah, he was on Saint Anger, but like
Bob Rock did all the bass.
Bob
before
Rock
he
was
came
like
on.
pretty much there for most of it.
Right.
This is Rob's first like time on bass in an album by Metallica.
it's
I
good.
thought the bass
Dude,
line would go
I
along
noticed
with
the
every
difference.
song I was,
Solid.
Like,
noticing
Yeah,
it.
he's definitely a very good addition to the band. There's a reason he's still with them to this day.
He can hack it with anybody. He's been with Ozzy.
Oh,
he's
shit,
been with
wow,
fucking
that's cool.
Zach Wild. He can fucking play it. He
That's
was
kinda
he was the replacement bassist in Suicidal Tendencies' second
Okay.
or third album.
wow.
Yeah,
Holy
So-
shit.
that's like where I first heard of him.
Yeah, Rob Trujillo, the guy. Now Suicide and Redemption, the
The
fucking,
instrumental and the longest fucking
the
track.
first one in
I
like
didn't write a single note.
This one's like
That's what I have
just
to say.
about 10 minutes long.
It is.
At the time, it was the longest Metallica track ever.
It has
too.
been beaten.
By what?
The new album has an 11-minute song.
Damn.
It's 11 minutes and 11 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up real quick while you guys talk.
Yeah. It's 72 seasons. That's the album.
It's on the 72 seasons. I like this instrumental though. It's not one of my favorite Metallica ones. Like I think Call of Cthulhu's better. I like Orion better. I like Anesthesia better.
Yeah.
But this one's cool to listen to. It's
fun.
just really long.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going for it that they wanted to try and encapsulate with Cliff, with Jason, but there's just so much going on. I don't hear much of the Jason isms.
Yeah.
I kind of
me
hear it with the
either.
riffs a little bit, but most of it is very melodic and free flowing, something that Cliff would write. So therefore,
Rest in
I
peace,
feel like
Cliff.
it's an ode to him in a way.
And then the closing track, another heavy hitter, My Apocalypse, which is the shortest at 5 minutes. Again, long fucking album, long songs.
It is just insane how they got away with taking all of this fucking material and keeping it at this length.
Yeah.
And it just blows the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, people get bored nowadays listening to shit like this. And
Yeah.
they skip it. Because we're... With the YouTube shorts and TikTok, and there's videos that are only, 2 minutes max. Maybe 2 minutes and 30 seconds max. Music has become so, stop and go.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before with, a lot of, modern hip-hop albums, even, rock albums here and there, where they have 20-plus songs, but they're, 2 minutes each.
Yeah.
Because it's all about streams. That's also it. It's not even... it's also a short attention span issue, but, again, that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
But final thoughts, I'll go first since I picked it real quick.
Yeah, dude.
It's a good return to form album for Metallica. It's not one of my favorites by them, though, by a long shot. It's definitely still in, my lower half of their... It's definitely on my lower half of their side of music. But it's still good. And it also paved the way for how their modern sound would sound. So, if you've listened to Hardwired in 72 Seasons, there's a lot of similarities.
This is the prequel. I'm not the prequel. This is the spiritual successor of what would become modern Metallica.
Yeah. So
That-
if you like that sound, it's
Yeah.
good.
The only thing I could gripe about is the production because it sounds really spiky in the highs.
Yeah.
And it's not really nice to hear. Ah shit. I fucked
You're
that one
good.
up.
Yeah, it's not great. I'll say that.
They definitely had something going for it. They had an idea and they ran with it, and it worked out in their benefit because this made millions of dollars, and this tour was fucking huge.
Again, anything to come back from Metallica,
Yeah,
which was critically and panned at the time.
it was. Excuse me. It was a wild time for them, especially because they had Lemmy come up on stage with them during this time period when the album was out. Ozzy was with them for a little while. They did a lot of touring with them. It was fucking wild, dude. This is their, I guess, breaking point before the 2010s.
Yeah. And final thoughts from you, Eric?
Do I have to give a rating for this?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We'll let you know when we
Okay.
get there. What do you thought overall?
This is the first time I've actually listened to this album, which was really cool, and it was actually really fire. I might actually listen, throw it in my lineups now.
Hey, that's awesome.
Listen to
Nice.
some, yeah.
I would just say this is the first Metallica album that I think I've even listened to in full. I don't know much Metallica other than probably the 10 biggest songs.
Yeah,
that
right.
they had. But I thought it was pretty good.
Solid.
I don't
Solid
know.
album.
It's not a genre of music that I go to very often, but Metallica is probably one of the first bands that I would probably go to.
Gateway band.
It is a gateway.
Yeah, it
drug
is,
band.
dude. It is.
Knowing that they have better albums than this one, I can look at it from that perspective, and I'll probably go and listen to some of their other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It'll be
If you
fun.
like this, I do recommend Hardwired too.
Yes.
It's like this but better.
It is.
Crank,
Okay.
dude. It's fun.
much
We'll go to scores. I'm just gonna start it since I picked. I'll give it a 7. Yeah, I was gonna give it a 6.5 originally, but I'm gonna give it a 7 because again, my issues with it, a lot of long songs.
Yeah.
Some of them could have been cut down. Some songs are just okay, but I think it holds up pretty well. Maybe, I'll stick with a 7. I do enjoy it. We'll have Eric go next since it's your first.
Well, I was thinking actually 7.5, just
Nice.
because 7 just didn't feel like enough
Yeah.
for me. Because it was really good, but the songs were really long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my gripe.
When the hits hit, they hit.
They hit, bro. But like,
I'm gonna stick with like the 7.5.
yeah, that's
Fair
how I
enough.
feel.
It's not middle of the road. It's above average,
yeah.
but there could have been tweaks.
Like,
to
I don't
make
want to give
this
it an
perfect.
8. Like, you
It's
know.
not an 8 to me.
Yeah.
That would be too much. It's giving
Right.
it too much credit.
7.5 is the most that you.
I'm actually gonna probably lower the scale a little bit then, because I was just gonna give it a 6.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
fine.
alright.
Yeah.
But mainly a lot of that is because of the song length again. Like
Hell yeah.
some of the songs that definitely worked, and there were really good songs on here, but there were other ones where it felt like they were just trying to make sure all of the songs were a good length,
Yeah.
and some
Yeah.
of them like were
That
a little
does make
longer than
sense.
they need to be. But
Mhm.
yeah, 6.
Yeah, and that seems to be a trend with Metallica because like ever since like Load, all their albums are like an hour and 10 minutes plus,
Yeah.
and it's kind of ridiculous.
I don't mind long songs as long as there's like different
It's hitting.
parts to the song.
Yeah,
kinda.
or there's enough to keep it interesting.
But a lot of these songs, it's just long songs that just have the regular, verse and then like
Verse,
main
chorus,
All I'm saying is
chorus,
Cyanide
you
did
know.
it right. And that's
Yeah.
the best song.
All
In
right.
my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, yeah. So Eric, what is your first pick gonna be?
So, I don't know. In this moment, I'm feeling No Pressure by Logic.
Oh.
Wow, that is not what I thought you were gonna pick.
Yeah, I kind of
Logic.
switched it up.
Never done a
because,
Logic album before.
So,
Never.
yeah, first one. I'm looking forward to it.
Interesting.
actually.
We're starting with No Pressure too. This,
Yeah,
I like this album.
Debatably,
That
we're
album
starting
is
with this
good,
one. Yeah,
If we
I
were
was
trying to do more recent
right.
stuff,
I was
it's the best
thinking like
way to
No
start.
Pressure, but I was like, nah, I'll just do No Pressure.
No Pressure.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Mhm.
Tune in to next week where we look at No Pressure.